Well, we're just, first of all, thank you to the media. It's so important, this tournament, that we get great media coverage, and not only in LA, but also nationally. And so we just appreciate your time and efforts to promote our sport. This is just a great opportunity for our team and our program. So many people have worked so hard behind the scenes to create this to be an excellent host environment, not only for our team, but for all the teams participating. And I love where our team is at. I think we just keep learning and growing every week and every game. And, I think we've been pretty solid in just staying present in the moment and how do we get better that day. And I think that's the key. We talk about surrendering the outcome and really just focusing on the process. And usually that leads to a better outcome in the end. So we're just trying to do what we've been doing all year, to not change a thing, to just really build for the next piece. And just stay calm and enjoy the moment.
Questions for student athletes?
This new king seems to be a player who will do just about anything on the floor, whatever way. Can Nirra and Jordin talk about the challenge of someone being so, you have no idea where she might be at the given point?
What's he talking about?
Number 34.
Oh, Destiny?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I think it's just knowing where she's at on the floor at all times and just being able to communicate that. She's a really great player. I played against her in high school, so she's gonna get hers, but we just have to limit we have to limit her touches as much as possible and force her to use her other teammates and try to make them score as much as possible.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's really going to be a team defensive thing for her, and there's going to be different people guarding her at different times, and we all have to have that same awareness that she's the go-to, and they're constantly looking for her. So as a team, we just all have to key into her.
Having close to 2 weeks to prepare for this one, any concern about getting ramped up again, or has this break come at a good time for you guys to get prepared and recharged?
We all know postseason is one and done, so it doesn't take a lot for us to really get riled up for this, especially me being a senior. It's my last go, so I think just me alone, having that energy and having that intensity, I think it'll rub off on my teammates, and we all will be in the same space.
Coach, I think I missed maybe part of your
That's
question
okay.
earlier, but I know earlier in the week you guys didn't know a ton about Hawaii going into this. How prepared do you feel during this week's preparation?
Well, I think we'll see when the ball tips up, but Hawaii's a really good team. In terms of being prepared for Hawaii, we've had great film work. I think the assistant coaches have just done a great job in breaking the films down and having an awareness of what they're going to do. They have our attention. They're not. It's not like we're the first, Power 5 team they've played. They've played a lot of really good competition. This is not going to be a surprise for them. They will be ready. I think they're a very confident bunch. They've got a very veteran group. I feel very prepared. It's going to be about the players now going out and executing a game plan. That was a big thing that we talked about coming away from the Pac-12 tournament. We've been a very prepared basketball team all year long. And the one thing we were disappointed about in the finals is how we executed our game plan. But at the same time, that really informed our practices this week and informed our preparation. I really think we're in a good spot. We respect Hawaii. And, their versatility, being plus almost 11 on the boards, that's something we really pride ourselves on. And it's going to be a battle to control possessions. And they just have a lot of people who can hurt you in a lot of different ways. And they play really hard and aggressive. They are definitely going to try to be the aggressors. And that will be the challenge for us to match that. But I feel very prepared in terms of knowing them and knowing what we have to do. Now it's just a part of, as Coach Tony just told our team in the locker room, it's about who wants it more and who can play to their strengths better, who can execute the game plan.
Cori, just coming off a loss like Oregon State, does that make it easier to motivate the team, or has enough time elapsed and it's kind of you can sort of
Well, you never know what the, stemming factor is. We have a very competitive team. So I think anytime you lose in a competition, your ears are a little bigger, your heart's a little softer, you're ready to move forward. And I think, you know, you never know going into final exams, though. We came back from that Pac-12 tournament with that loss, and it stung. But then we're in the middle of final exams and all the other things that are pulling at these student athletes. But I really was pleased with how we attacked practice. I really thought we came in with an attitude not to just get through them, to get to the NCAA tournament, but that we were going to get better. We were going to take the experience of the Pac-12 tournament, and we were going to be better from it. And I do believe that we've really focused a lot on our half-court execution and some of the things that we need to do, some of our just team defensive concepts. We sort of went back to basics a little bit. But I think if you're a competitive group, you know, a loss stings, and you want to do whatever it takes to not have that sting again.
Jordan, the day before, this is the day before your first NCAA tournament. What is your mindset going into this? How are you feeling? I talked to Nirra and some of the seniors a couple of days ago about, they talked about their first NCAA tournament experience and how you're a little bit nervous. How are you feeling going into this first one?
I would agree with what they said. I'm a little nervous. This is my first time being in this type of situation, but I'm also focused at the same time and just focusing on what my team needs from me in terms of on and off the court, and just being able to continue doing what I'm doing throughout the season. So just leading my team and staying focused.
For Nirra or Jordin, actually, if you both could comment on this, this is a team that prides itself on its defense, and you've played some really good defensive teams. Can you talk about what your offensive strategy, when it's struggling, that when you've got to get going again or get it going against a tough defense, what you guys do on the floor?
Well, it starts with us too on defense. I think that's just the main thing. That's what gets our offense going. If we have that attack mindset on defense, I think we're just going to get easy breakout layups. Me and Nirra, we start that consistently every single game, and just having that energy and mindset that it starts with us too, and just being able to focus on that, I think that creates more offensive flow for us and our team.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Jordan. It all starts on the defensive end. When we get stops and we run transition, that's our strength, and I think that builds a lot of our offense. And just having that in the back of our minds and really doing it throughout the tournament, I think we have like tremendous success.
Coach, do you see this as a style game or a pace game, either their pace or your pace?
Yeah, I do. I think they would rather have it be more methodical, have us go deep into the shot clock, you know, and for them to control tempo. They're very disciplined. They run a lot of triangle stuff, and they run it late into the shot clock and get things late into the shot clock and make you defend a lot of things. So, you know, that style would be to their benefit. And, you know, I think that's one of the things we learned, though, playing in one of the best conferences in the country, arguably the best conference. You see every style, you know, and I think about just Arizona State being very similar in that they really wanted to control tempo, and what we learned from the first time we played them versus the second time we played them, and how we were able to get the tempo back into our favor. And Jordan hit it on the head, though. To the extent that we're able to control tempo is to the extent that we play our defense. And it really will come down to our defense and rebounding, setting the style of how the game's going to be played, setting the tempo. But definitely it is contrasting styles, and whoever will be able to impose their will of their style will probably have an easier game.
Coach, UCLA the women's side hasn't advanced past the second round of the NCAA tournament since I think like 1999. I know the typical response here, understandably so, is we're focused one game at a time because that is what your mindset is on.
Yeah.
But as you are going into this tournament, has like a statistic like that ever popped into your head? Have you considered that like this team hasn't made a real impact in the tournament in a long time?
Well, honestly, I told them some of their firsts in practice yesterday. I told them, here are some of the firsts that you guys have already accomplished, and how did you do that? The way that they did it was staying focused in the moment, really never getting caught up in numbers and rankings. It was never something that I really heard them talk about. And so it's sort of like, just, you know, don't let yourself get distracted by something that hasn't distracted you all year. I think that, you know, we all know that, and I want them to enjoy that they have a great opportunity. I mean, that's what they came here to do, is to do things that hadn't been done here before, and they've already done a lot of them. First team to ever go undefeated in Pac-12 play. Only team in the conference, I think, with Oregon State that's beaten every single team. highest seed in a really, really long time. I mean, there's been 3 seeds before, but I think we're the first time they've been the number 1 3 seed. You know, there's all kinds of firsts they've already done, but how did they get to those firsts is no different than how they would get to the first of advancing deep into the NCAA tournament, is staying present in the moment. So I think it's okay to acknowledge it. It's an opportunity, like every other opportunity that they came here to do. I mean, literally, both of these guys could have gone anywhere they wanted in the country, and they came here because they wanted to experience first. They wanted to create and blaze trails here at UCLA and do that in a special way. So we're aware of that, but we see it just as an opportunity. And the important thing is to have it informed that the way they got there and the way that they take advantage of those opportunities is to stay present in the moment and do whatever their team needs from them, that rep, that possession, that pass, that catch, the simplest of inches.
Coach, coming into this, do you do your routine as if it's a home game, same routine as your home game?
Yeah.
Or do you do anything different?
We try. I mean, the NCAA, you know, the protocols make it a little varied, but we have really tried to make it as similar as we possibly can and to not really do anything different. You know, I think that's the way you make it as much of a home court advantage as you can, is to just keep your routine. Some of it's out of your control, and you know, my thing is I don't care if it's 4 in the morning or 4 in the afternoon or whatever else. We get to play in the NCAA tournament. We're going to take advantage, and we're going to be ready to play. So I think to some extent we're trying to be as methodical as we can to stay in our routine, but also there's just going to be things that are out of your control, and you just it's your job to be mentally focused enough to take those things in stride and get yourself ready to play. Yeah, she's doing great, just day to day at this point. So I think it's really up in the air for this first round, but she's day to day, but we're really liking her progress.